Praise the Lord. Good afternoon on this truly July 3rd. I did a video the other day and I said that it was July 3rd, and it actually was the 2nd. But I'm coming to you today because there was something the Lord spoke to me and was dealing with me this morning when I woke up. And I heard these words, independence, Declaration of Independence. And what the Lord was saying to me was, and this goes for every African American, because he said your people, and that also pertains to my people who are the indigenous, because I do have Indian heritage, Kiowa Indian heritage. And so that word was, are you going to allow what was written to speak and control you and keep you in bondage, or are you going to believe who I said you are? And so I said, no, God, I'm not gonna believe that. And immediately what came to me was the wordings that speak to African Americans at that time. I think they might have said African. I'll have to reread it again. That you are a quarter of a man or you're not a man. Well, that's not who God says you are. And just because they wrote it and they were formers here in the United States before it became known as the United States does not mean that's who you are. They treated you that way. They treated our people that way. But God says, are you going to be who I said you are? Because you're made in my likeness and in my image. And I am not a slave. And that hit me hard. God is not a slave. This is for every man on the face of this earth, regardless of your ethnicity, regardless of being a male or female. Everyone has been made in the image of God. And you know what? When the angels of the Lord come and they are seeing us and they are surrounding us, even if you have interaction, which is very rare, okay? And they bow. They're not bowing because, oh, you're so great. They're bowing because the image of God is seen on us. They bow to that, not to us as in, oh, it's Lisa, look, let's bow to her. No, they're bowing to the image. They're bowing to the face of the Lord that they're seeing. And so God has made it clear there is a covenant with this nation, and he keeps his covenant. And regardless of whether man did not keep his covenant, there are people who know God has made a covenant. We made a covenant with God, and he's more than willing to keep it. So enjoy your Independence Day. Dependence on God too.